All right, it is 10 o'clock. We will get started here for the regularly scheduled Seneca County Commissioners meeting here for Thursday, April 4th, 2024, 10 a.m. If you would, please stand with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, if you would please pray with me. Dear Lord, please help give us your guidance and bless us here as we go to discuss issues and things confronting our county here and our citizens. Please help us to do your will. Please help us to work together for the betterment of our community. Please also watch out for the farmers, the property owners, and people affected by the high waters and mild flooding right now. Keep our troops safe, and please help our county watch over us as we get ready to face an eclipse, and just help everybody to keep a level head and calm mind and a cool heart. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Paradis is absent. Commissioner Schuff?
Here.
Commissioner Franker?
Here. 2 of the 3 commissioners are present. Minutes, I will accept a motion to approve the digital, audio, video recordings of the previous board session from Thursday, March 28th, 2024.
So moved.
Second, Commissioner Franklin.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes. All right. Next, we're going to get into appointments here. We have John Spar, who is going to give us an eclipse update. John, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Here's a copy for you.
Oh, thank you.
I have copies for you, and I'll leave my last copy for Commissioner Paradis. So, I just wanted to give one final talk, I guess, but just go over the preparations for the eclipse that Seneca County has made, mainly public safety-wise and organizationally. There are a lot of people who put time into this. The stakeholder group was very wide, and people came and gave information and sat down and worked out what we can do to make this a safe, enjoyable event for everybody. If it had been something that we could have decided to do, you know, and try to get the eclipse to come here, I think we would have done it anyway. But as it was coming anyway, and there was nothing we could do about it, we got to prepare. So I've given the commissioners a copy of the full plan, the eclipse coordination plan that we've put together over the last few months for Seneca County. That plan, by the way, commissioners, has all the annexes in it. Everything that was submitted to us from hospitals, from law enforcement, EMS, etc., those are all in there. That is a secure plan. It's not a public plan. The public can see the plan by going to the Eclipse page at senecacountyema.org. You can look at a copy of what's a, what I want to say, it's kind of a truncated plan. What we've done is taken out some of the security measures, telephone numbers, things like that, that came with the annexes. But you can see the coordination plan for Seneca County. The one thing I want to say about that plan, though, is that it is subject to change on the day of. This is a fluid operation that we're putting together because we cannot predict the actual number of people coming to Seneca County, the number of cars, what the problems will be. In reality, it's pretty much just a larger version of our day-to-day. We can't predict in the morning how many 911 calls or what accidents will happen that day. We can't do that for the eclipse day either. However, we know there's going to be people here, at least 150 couples downtown and their families, so we know that's happening, and we expect a lot more people to be in the county for the eclipse because this is a really great place to see it. This morning's weather report, eclipse weather report from the National Weather Service, is a little bit better than yesterday's. Yesterday it showed 65% cloud coverage on the day of the eclipse. Today it's down to 53 or 38. I can't remember which one, but it's dropped. But they've also said that that's a very low confidence report. We really won't know anything about what the weather is going to be on Monday until Saturday or Sunday. That's when the confidence will rise on what our abilities to see the eclipse will be. I'm basically here to answer any final questions anybody has about how we've prepared or what our preparations are. I can tell you that we'll be opening the Emergency Operations Center that day on what's called a partial activation, no later than 10 a.m. It will be staffed by law enforcement, fire, EMS, our Seneca County Public Information Officer will be there, and I think the city engineer's office is going to be there, and we'll be in touch with other stakeholders around the community throughout that day. We're hoping for a boring day, as we always do, but we're prepared for not boring. Keep in mind that just because we are dealing with an eclipse and population that day does not mean that we won't have other issues that day. We could have weather issues, although they're not expecting any. We could have hazardous material issues on our highways that day. We could have really anything else that my office prepares for on a daily basis. Commissioners, do you have any questions that I can address? Yes, sir.
So the common person going downtown has problems. I don't care what, just problems. Where do they go? 911? Does everybody go 911?
If it's an emergency, if you have a problem today that you'd say, man, I gotta call 911, call 911. It will work. 911 by federal law has to get from your cell phone to the dispatch center. It will knock people off phone calls they're on. So one of our concerns was that the cell towers in Seneca County would be full of visitors and you wouldn't be able to make a phone call with your cell phone normally. And so somebody said, what if I got to call 911? Well, 911 clears a path through all the phone calls to the dispatch center. It will end your phone call if you're on, if that's the way they need to get through. It will disconnect you and make its path through. People in first responders have all had the opportunity to sign up for wireless priority service so that we can use our cell phones as a backup to our radios so that we can talk to whoever we need to. That's a higher level service than your regular cell phone service. It's a different band in cellular communications. So that's set up for us. The Commissioner's Office has that ability so that we don't get stuck with, I can't get through, I can't get through. We'll be able to get through as well. For the citizens who are concerned about being able to make a phone call, maybe you've gotten rid of your landline and you're just on cellular now, go into your phone, ask a 12-year-old if you're not sure how to do it yourself, believe me, I'm starting to get to that place, and find Wi-Fi calling. Okay, if you have Wi-Fi in your house, in your home, and most of us do, you can switch your smartphone to Wi-Fi calling, and that will use your Wi-Fi to make a phone call and not a cell tower. You can do that now and keep that on so that when you're home, you use that. When you're out and about, it uses a cell tower. That's a good way to avoid trying to get a phone call through on a cell tower, especially on Monday when we'll have a lot of visitors that don't have access to Wi-Fi. They'll be using cell towers for mapping, for posting on Facebook, for whatever you use your cell phone for, plus phone calls. You can switch to Wi-Fi calling and avoid the cell towers, and you'll still be able to make your calls. If you have if you have a landline, I've been telling people this, and you've been thinking about getting rid of it, April 9th is the day to do that, not April 8th, or before April 8th. Just wait till after the eclipse, and then you can get rid of your landline, because we're not going to have this issue with an eclipse anyway, again, until 2099. Seneca County, however, will have that center line through Seneca County again in 2099. I will not be managing this at that point. John, you're not going to? No, I don't think so. So, a lot of time and effort went into this plan. A lot of people were consulted. We also utilized plans from Tennessee, Kentucky, and Oregon to try and formulate our plan because they had the most recent experience with this in 2017, so it was helpful to have that information. I think that's all. As far as the Emergency Operations Center, it will open when it needs to open, but no later than 10 a.m. So if I get a call from the sheriff Sunday evening saying, hey, the roads are full, I'll go in and open up the Emergency Operations Center, we'll bring in some of the people that we need, and we'll be there all night and all day Monday. And we'll be there until we clear the county of vehicles, of traffic. Once we can open up roads and say that our roads are clear and not withstanding traffic waiting to get out of the county, that's the earliest that we would close the EOC. And I can't tell you when that will be. That's why on that schedule for the EOC, that has some X's next to it. I have no idea. But we'll be there. We'll be helping get emergency vehicles around traffic and to the places where they need to be.
And John, I believe, is the sheriff, they're gonna have remote out at 19 and 224, since that's kind of ground zero there at the corner, or is that?
Yes, at 224 and 19, they're putting their command center. They are putting, I believe they were somehow able to get an AT&T FirstNet portable mobile tower. They're putting it at 100 and 224 because that's closest to the sheriff's office. That's supposed to come in probably Saturday. They're going to put that in. I will say this, that the chief deputy out there at the sheriff's office, Charles Boyer, was recognized by AT&T as the only person in all of northern Ohio that had requested a tower to do it right. They made that point. They were like, he's the only one who did it right. Everybody else had blanks and didn't submit this and didn't do that. They made a point of telling people that he was the only one who did it right. So I don't know I don't know how he did that, but he managed to be able to get a tower, and that's going to be helpful because it's not just for AT&T users. It'll be for anybody with a cell phone. So that will help with having an extra tower in the county.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
I've heard of some people that are waiting until 24 hours before the eclipse to see what the forecast is and the overcast of weather, and then like there might be a rush in certain areas, like if it's overcast in Huron County, or I've heard of people wait until the last.
Yes. I expect that our busiest traffic time is going to be Monday. Monday morning, it'll ramp up. That's why we're planning on opening no later than 10, but I'll be in at work by 7 that morning at the latest. So if it needs to open earlier, it opens earlier. But because of that, there are people who have been planning this all along. As a matter of fact, so much so that they've looked at the center line and said, okay, I'm going to reserve this a year ago. I'll reserve a room here, 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 and here. And the weekend before, I'll start canceling my reservations and go to the place that has the best weather, because there's just no way to predict that. So that they make sure they get to a place that is the best viewing. I think we're going to have pretty good viewing that day. I think it's going to be almost 70 degrees that day. It's going to be nice. And even if we have some clouds in the sky, we're going to be able to see the eclipse.
Make sure you quote him on that too, John.
That's the other thing I'll say. I was on WBVI this morning talking to them, and they said, I told them that I've said this with every presentation I've done, we have to plan for the worst. We have to. And if it turns out to be no big deal that day, we'll be super happy about that. That's not a problem. So if anybody wants to email me or call me later and go, wow, you did a lot of work for nothing, well, it wasn't for nothing. This is what we do. And we're prepared for that. And I've heard people bring up Y2K. A lot of hype about Y2K and then a whole bunch of nothing. Nothing happened. Well, I hope nothing happens here too. But we're prepared in case it does. So I wanted the county and the community to know that, and the commissioners, and thank you for all your help with this, because you guys have been instrumental in getting this plan together, so I appreciate that.
I remember where I was for Y2K. I was in junior high school. We were at the courthouse watching some sort of ball drop. I was in junior high then.
Oh, yeah?
Y2K, yeah.
Just waiting for planes to fall out of the sky.
Everybody thought the computers were going to shut down.
I wish you're recording yet, but
I was overseas, I believe, so I wasn't even, I assumed our ship would float. So
we did, I was up to, so it sounds like the county fair has nobody camping. We was just up at Attica Fair last night. They have nobody, so, before we was looking at a whole influx on it. I think it's just going to be, that's the day of. And
I think so, and I think it's going to be much less of a population influx than we have been planning for, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think it's gonna
great.
be an apocalypse
Are
by any
you-
stretch.
Absolutely.
Are you still recommending gas, groceries,
Yeah.
you know, today, tomorrow, before we get that influx of people?
I am, and I'll tell you, that's a little bit, not selfish personally, but selfish from my office, because every car I can keep off the road on Monday is a benefit to all of us, and especially to public safety. So if you normally shop on Monday or Tuesday, shop on Friday or Saturday and get that stuff and plan to go back out. You don't have to hoard anything. There will be food, there will be things to have in the middle of next week once they get trucking in. But I know that those stores that get daily shipments are probably not going to get them on Monday or Tuesday, and that moves everything back. It kind of messes with the supply line a little bit. So don't go out on Monday and brave the traffic or get stuck somewhere. Go shopping this weekend. Get your prescriptions this weekend. Remember, pharmacies get their shipments daily as well. They may not on Monday or Tuesday as they try to catch back up. So work on that ahead of time. Fill up your cars now, because even if we don't get that great influx of people, everybody who drives here is going to have to fill up. And you're likely to find gas stations with maybe no gas for a couple of days. Because keep in mind that this isn't just Seneca County affected, it's 35 counties across northern Ohio. Those gas companies, those suppliers, supply all of us, all the counties. So it's not just us, so it may be a day or two before they can get their vehicles out and refill our tanks. Number two is that's one of the cool things is we're on the center line, so we're in the middle. So people will want to come here, great. But when they leave, they've got to drive through several counties worth of people who were also in the totality. So that's how it backs up to the middle. Being in the middle, great. At the same time, trying to get people out of the middle means they've got to follow everybody else. So that's why we may have some traffic issues on Monday afternoon and evening, and that's when we expect to have our busiest time.
Don't hoard all the toilet paper like people did during COVID.
Man, it only takes one. It only takes one person with a cart full of toilet paper to trigger a paper supply issue, and we really just kind of recovered from that in the last 6 months. So yeah, please don't be that person.
Just a public notice.
That's right. Well,
Can we get a quick picture with each
Of course,
other?
please.
I have a plane that went into this. Can we just get a quick photo? Want to hold the binder? Sure. There you go. Grab yours, Bill.
There's.
Thank you.
How's yourself right now? Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. Good job, John.
Good job.
All right. Next, we will move on to commissioners' reports. Commissioner Franker, if you lead us off.
Oh, okay. Last Thursday, attended the Board of Health meeting, and they were kind of giving some updates, some stuff that they've been working on there. And then Monday was at the Bicentennial Kickoff. We were all there, and what a great crowd for the kickoff for that. The room was full at the museum and stuff, and nice, a lot of good speeches from mayors, commissioners. We had Congressman Latta there and Representative Click, so it was a great event to start off our bicentennial year on it. So, and Heather did a nice job with his speech and followed up with WTOL and stuff with it. Tuesday had Budget Commission and Board of Revision. As we go through the Budget Commission, we are cautiously watching our sales tax, because it's, kind of from last year, things are starting to, soften up. So we kind of keep a cognitive eye on that as we progress. So we need, Dennis, you need to go buy some Lamborghinis to help get our sales tax back up there and stuff like that.
Just have a Corvette.
Right, yes, I have a Corvette, either way, so we're good, so, right, so, no, just, want to make sure that we work and, try to do as much, local shopping as we can to, help here, with that, so, and then, Wednesday, attended the final Eclipse meeting over to the, chamber. I think Bryce and Marissa are ready for April 8th and for their big event, and also for it to be over too. So they spent a lot of time and effort and promotion, and I mean, you know, it's amazing. Sometimes you find that niche that puts you over the top, and I think with what they've done with the Elopa Eclipse, I mean, they've been on national news and stuff, and brought a lot of attention here to Tiffin and Seneca County and stuff on it. So kudos to them for all the hard work that they've put into that. After that, we had OSS meeting over in Sandusky County at Fremont there. Had election of officers. Commissioner Schwoko is president. Commissioner Douglas from Ottawa County is vice president, and I'm secretary. And we kind of worked with them on some funds and stuff for the health department. Tried to maybe solidify some questions and stuff on that, so help them with oversight and stuff as they with some of the stuff they're doing out the landfill there. And we had our insurance meeting with Corsa, and you know, as we all know, what insurance is doing, we took a little bit of an increase with that. Could have been worse, but still an increase and stuff on that. So again, as you know, you start nipping away at things and your sales tax slip a little bit, we really have to be cautious of what we're doing. So and then we was up to the EMS building, kind of getting the every couple weeks we go out to see what the progress is there, come along, making some significant changes there, and starting to take shape. And I think we look get into the May time frame on it. I think we should be pretty close to having it wrapped up there with it. After that, went to regional planning meeting last night. Kind of went through their agenda and kind of looking at options and stuff as we start moving forward with regional planning and looking at all aspects of that organization and stuff with it. And went to Attica Fair Board meeting last night. Great group of people there, a lot of dedicated folks. They do a great job for the little independent fair that they do there, and really enjoy going to that meeting and stuff with it. So that brings us up to today.
Good report. Thank you. So last Thursday evening, I attended a downtown design committee meeting. New to that committee, I've been on it before in the past, but basically that's the group is one of the legs of the DDC, Downtown Development Committee. But they kind of work on the design of the downtown looking forward. They've done a lot of good things over the past decade, so happy to be back on that board as a official. I hope everybody had a great Easter on Sunday, got some time in with family and friends. It's very important. As Commissioner Frankert said, we had the bicentennial kickoff, had different electeds from different state and federal offices. Big thank you to Teresa Sullivan, who is in charge of the museum. It's looking really good in there. Everything's very clean, organized, and they just, seems like every week they're improving the place, and it's very impressive what they do with that small group there, and just kudos to her. Budget Commission, Board of Revisions this week, as Commissioner Frankert alluded to, OSS meeting, trying to bring some more resources here to the health department, so we are working on that. Of course, insurance renewal, was it 5.4% that was the increase?
I believe so. Something
Yeah,
like that.
could have been worse. I mean, things are going up right now, as we all see, but compared to other local governments, I think we're in line or doing okay, holding our own. Bloomville EMS progress meeting, Klaus and their group, they got the EMS building looking really nice here. Also looking at some savings too. We backscaled some of the landscaping potentially, and some stuff with generators. So, I mean, Barb, want to give her kudos because she keeps a really close eye on the budget, the money we're spending. So, trying to save taxpayer dollars where we can, but just really impressed with how quickly and how far the building's come up and come along so far. So, excited to get that open. Commissioner Frankert also alluded to a regional planning meeting last night, so there was discussion on what direction, what's our vision for the board, where do we want to go. So we had some really deep discussions on that, a lot of really good input, and I think we'll be seeing some good conversations had here in that committee in the near future. Also had a meeting with Jeremy Spear here this week, just getting some updates on the AT building and just how their move's going and stuff, so things are progressing along there. This morning we had the DDC, Downtown Development Committee meeting. A lot of different things discussed here. Got a bylaw committee they're putting together, recap from the St. Patty's Day 5K. Got some updates on the upcoming farmers markets, which are important because that gets our rural farmers in and sell their product, and those tend to be well-attended events. comments. Rotary also came to the meeting. I know there's some discussion about Rotary putting up a clock on the green space. The three commissioners were united on that front as far as not putting anything new on the green space. So if anyone has any suggestions, they're looking for a place to put their clock. It has chimes on it, can do songs, whatnot, but I mean, I believe it's 16 feet tall. It's very ornate, very historic, so they're looking for a place to put it. So if anyone has any ideas, feel free to reach out to them or the DDC. Let's see what else we've got. Tonight, there is a ribbon cutting at Simtown. You have that covered, Commissioner Frank, thank you. And then they have their grand opening on Saturday at 11. All right, feel free to step up to that. As we had talked about earlier in the meeting, the eclipse, as far as I'm concerned, relax, enjoy, be safe, and use protection on your eyes, and just make the best of it. And that's all I have for my report. Any questions? County Administrator's report.
Just a couple of things. A lot of it is housekeeping. Again, no meeting on April 18th. I will not be here, so we have decided to cancel that meeting. The meeting on April 25th, I would like to have that meeting moved to 10:30 instead of a 10 o'clock start time due to legislative breakfast. Gives you guys an opportunity to mingle after, if there's questions you want to talk to any of the legislators. So I'm recommending that we move that meeting to 10:30 instead of 10 o'clock start on the 25th. I would also like to thank the Destination Seneca County and Bryce and Marissa and everyone that was involved in the bicentennial kickoff. It was a wonderfully organized program. And everyone that attended, they did a wonderful job. Teresa's doing a great job over there at the museum with the foundation. Just kudos to everybody that put in hard work for that one. So, and we'll just continue to celebrate our 200th and keep moving. The other thing I have is, believe it or not, that April is National County Government Month, according to CCAO. I got a letter from them, so just basically that, all local government, county governments matter, that, we have, they sent us over some brochures and some pamphlets and things, so we do have a sign in the window stating that it is local government or national government, county government month. So the other thing I have, I was asked by, I believe this came from Adam Gilmore, a request for support for the Court Street streetscaping improvement project that they want to, they're trying to get funding through the one-time special community improvement fund. I have a letter of support here for Senator Reineke, if we'd like to sign that.
Yeah, we definitely, when we did it for when they submitted to Representative, so, yeah, just
So that's all I have.
Thank you. Good report. All right, we will now get into old business. Any old business to discuss and to bring up? Moving forward, new business and supplemental appropriations.
I have general fund, the liability insurance premiums is projected at $9,574. This is the increase in our premium from 24-25. What was budgeted was what was budgeted for the prior year. I just trying to make us so that we are whole there.
Is this yearly, bi-yearly, or quarterly?
That's a yearly.
Yearly, okay. Thank you.
And then the Wolf Creek Ditch Project Fund, their other expense line, they're requesting $393.15. This is for first half 2024 real estate settlement expenses. The General Special Projects Fund, excuse me, software license and services line for $1,000. This is software support for scanning at the for the judges. Also, out of the General Special Projects, the contract services of $5,365.50. This is for the pivot attorney for the months January through March. I have the County Capital Projects Fund, the Southwest EMS Station, $1,009,000. This is for the second EMS station that Cost Construction will be signing that contract resolution at this meeting. And then also I have from the County Capital Project Fund the energy performance upgrades of $2,100,000. $271. This is for the Brewer Garrett contract, for all of the energy improvements that, we have selected to do within the county.
Some very big but very important items. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the supplemental appropriations as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff,
Yes. Yes, passed by 2-0. Can we get into resolutions, please?
Sure. Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to accept the bid of the Crawford Construction Company Incorporated for the pre-stressed box beams for the county engineer.
So moved. Second. Just one quick question. We had 4 quotes on the box beams, correct? I remember from
I
last
don't
week.
have that information in front of me. I think there was four or five.
Okay. Yeah,
Like that.
I wrote them down on last week's agenda. I was just trying to remember how many we had, and we don't always take the lowest, but I'm just trying to remember what the numbers came in at, but I was just,
Their bid was
Was it-
$433,585.
was it the lowest?
I
outfall?
believe it was the lowest bid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and generally that's where Mark goes, but he also, wants to make sure that the work's done correctly as well.
Lowest and best. All right, go ahead and call the vote, please.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the expenditure of non-general funds for interest unable to be removed from the Seneca County Engineers credit card.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing sub-grant agreement for Greater Ohio Workforce Board Incorporated Area 7 on behalf of Seneca County Job and Family Services.
Motion to approve?
Second. What is this?
To be honest, I read through it, but now I can't. This is for the, employment and Training Workforce Initiative, or WIA, funds that they receive. We do this agreement every 2 years. Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff.
Yes.
The last resolution I have is to enter into contract with Klaus Construction Corporation for the Seneca County EMS Station 2, which is the new radio station.
Motion, good, you take that one. I promise I'll second you.
All right, yeah. Yep, so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Shuff,
Yes.
that's all I have for resolutions.
All right. Now to the general public. Anyone that would like to speak, give a report, love to hear from you. Mayor Wilkinson.
Yeah, thank you. Lee Wilkinson, City of Tiffin. So not only is this the 200th anniversary for Seneca County, but it's also the 75th anniversary of the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the Division of Forestry. So in honor of Arbor Day coming up, they are providing 1 tree for each county. We would like to, as the City of Tiffin, accept that tree on behalf of the county and have a tree planting ceremony, which I would like to invite you to, on April the 26th at 10 a.m. at Stalter Park. Stalter Park is one between Clinton Avenue and Ohio Avenue, the little triangular park in there.
That area could use a tree, it's a good call.
Yeah, so we're doing that at 10 a.m., so if you could put that on your calendar, that would be great.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good
What,
call.
what was the date of that again, Lee?
April 26th.
Thank you.
That's a Friday. Well, I was going to mention something about the eclipse. All of our emergency services people are prepared. They are prepared. And I was going to go over some of the eclipse activities happening downtown this weekend, but there are so many that it would take too long. I just encourage everyone to go to the Destination Seneca County community calendar or to SenecaCountySolarEclipse.com to find out all of those activities. It'd be nice to have not only all the people coming in from out of town, but all the people who live in town and Seneca County to come downtown to enjoy all the things that are going on down here. And just keeping in mind that there will be a lot of people from out of town, and we have some one-way streets. You might see some wrong on those one-way streets. Look both ways.
We see it on a regular day.
You gotta look both ways, go one cross crossing a one-way street, and just be kind to each other. You know, don't be like yelling at people don't know. You know, just be kind, redirect people, and we'll all get along.
I do want to follow up with you, Lee, a little bit. So they did, the chamber did finally get their, Seat Seneca County, their new guy now. So we do have that up, right? I popped in today. We got some out front at the, on the counter there, so help yourselves. But, yeah, with everything going on, that's, yeah, Eclipse and, yeah, a lot of great stuff going on in the county and city tip. And,
Very good. So, hope to see you at the Arbor Day celebration on 26th.
yep.
Out of curiosity, do you know what kind of tree they're gonna be planting?
I don't have that information here, but it will be a nice one.
All right.
Yep.
Just to make sure it wasn't a cactus.
With Monday, Eclipse, as I was driving here, there's a lot of construction traffic. Is there any kind of plan for that in the city on Monday? I'm trying to ask them not to.
Yeah, they will not be working the construction sites on, well, at least not all the city workers. The short work will not be happening on Monday.
You know, as I was coming on Market Street, there's construction out there down to one-lane traffic. And, you know, those foundation guys make sense to me to be here on Monday.
No, so hopefully all of that will not be taking place on Monday, the Eclipse Day, and there is going to be limited parking on Market and various streets just to make sure that we have enough room for emergency vehicles to get both ways through town.
I just thought of that, too. I mean, that's really bad. We saw a lot of it last summer, especially on the Eclipse Day. That could be a true nightmare.
That could be, yeah, so.
And there's no construction schedule in the county either. The engineer won't have any construction. I think the only thing is there might be a bridge that was taken out by scheduling a while back that won't be up, but other than that, there's no road closures planned and no construction.
Adam, would you like the floor?
Nothing from us today.
All right. Brent? Tom and John, did we end up coming up with a time or date that we can get together and check out the cemetery or anything, or can we, I know we talked about it last meeting, but just to make sure we get something set up for us to view it.
I think we're kind of waiting on Tony.
Waiting on Tony, actually.
Kind of waiting on Tony to see what he has to say.
Gotcha, okay. John, anything, Councilman Smith?
Just Eclipse Day, stay home.
No, at least it's come to town. Right?
Spend a little more.
Go on downtown.
This weekend.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
All right, well, if there is no further discussion, business, I will call the meeting adjourned at 10:37 a.m. Thank you.